It's E3, a time for new games, new ideas, and new reveals, a time when the gaming community comes together to see innovative new games, concepts, and trailers put forward. So naturally, neither Geometry Dash nor RobTop were mentioned even once. It does seem, as is the case with the competitive market though, that game releases by the big companies are currently led by current trends. I wouldn't really know because I'm far less involved with the gaming community than I am with the GD community, as I've never really been a gamer, but what I do know is that the gaming world, and not just E3, has been dominated by a newfound love for Battle Royale games like Fortnite and PUBG. Fortnite especially has taken the gaming world by storm and has given rise to some of the fastest growing gaming icons in history, and though I expected it to be a bandwagon game which would die off soon, it does actually seem like it's here to stay, which is good. If it makes people happy and is a good game, that's very cool. Something that's not that cool though is dragging a bandwagon concept to the limping, flagging 2D platformer we've all come to know so well, Geometry Dash. The concept of mixing other games with GD has been around since 2.0, but through all the innovatively designed levels and GD spanning ideas, we've had a lot of pretty shit ones too. But what I really didn't expect to see was something like a bandwagon concept combined with GD in not just a level but a standalone game by itself. First things first though, for those who don't know, what is a Battle Royale game exactly? A Battle Royale game is a newly popular genre that mixes survival combat with a last man standing approach for gameplay. Typically, there will be a big group of random players who land somewhere in a large map and get upgrades, collect items, build things, and generally adapt to overcome obstacles in order to become the last man standing, by themselves or in a group. I'm pretty sure Fortnite has 100 players that drop on a map, but I haven't ever played it as I don't have a good PC or any of these kinds of games, but it looks pretty fun to be fair. These kinds of games are huge at the moment. Fortnite has been the single-handed driving force to propel Ninja, who in the last few days has unboxed his 10 million subscriber diamond play button, to internet stardom. Fortnite really took off in 2018, and Ninja was on something ridiculous like 9 million subscribers by the time he unboxed his 1 million subscriber play button. Forget 5 mil in 6 months like Jake Paul, because Ninja has been smashing records globally. Not to mention that he's now the most followed streamer on his preferred home network of Twitch, and his takeoff has just generally been incredible. Ninja has just hit 13 million and now could potentially overtake Jake Paul soon. Naturally, popular games find their way onto GD via a select few creators who have an extremely in-depth knowledge of the game's editor and are able to bring these games about. The obvious example is Master Game, but Sapunj has an entire series of levels dedicated to other games and bringing them to GD called the Alta Game series. Something I'd expect to find in GD when something like Fortnite gets popular would be a Battle Royale layout video. Amazingly, there aren't actually any of these, because a 100-man survival game isn't exactly best suited for the next time Justin Sanchez wants to throw together some shit terrible blue layout with a Lenny face and a clickbait title. That being said, however, there's no shortage of Fortnite and Geometry Dash videos, including our main man Guitar Hero Styles, who is desperately trying to shed some sort of tie to GD so that he may one day forget that that's all his channel is about and instead can pretend he's the Spanish ninja. Jesus, we haven't even started talking about the game and I'm already complaining about Spanish YouTubers again. So anyway, on to the main topic. Aside from Fortnite and Geometry Dash stuff, recently a new game has emerged, but not in GD. It's an actual game on the Google Play Store. Usually I'd just expect this to be a crap bootleg, but generally it doesn't seem so bad. It's only started to gain popularity, but as it turns out it's been available for about a month now. It's by a developer named Yoto Games, but upon looking on his Play profile, it's his only game, which makes me think perhaps he just made this in order to cash in on some sort of hype. Still though, I appreciate the effort. I was really hoping it would be available for iOS, as I have an iPhone now, so I could give it a try, but alas I couldn't find it. I guess it's because Apple have a screening process where they look more thoroughly into the games and review them before they approve them, and I imagine there are restrictions on GD-based games like this. Looking at the reviews of the game, it's got some mixed ones. It averages at about 3.5 stars, but if you go into the actual review section, it's incredibly polarised. Either they're 5-star reviews from the Geometry Dash people who love it for the meme, or 1-star reviews from the Geometry Dash people who cannot understand the irony. The icon is pretty funny to be fair. It's got the usual GD icon landing on a terrain, much more in line with the Battle Royale theme. Generally, it doesn't seem to take itself too seriously and seems like quite a funny little piss-take game. I especially like the idea of using some of GD's editor's backgrounds as maps you can land in for a Battle Royale game. Anyway, enough talking about it, let's play it. Again, I'd like to thank StarXD for allowing me to use his footage. His links will be in the description, and you should go and check out his full playthrough with friends, as it's a way better video than this. The first thing I noticed when looking at the playthrough of this is that there's a massive thing that says Ninja's event at the bottom. Another good indication that Ninja's success is a driving force here. It's actually a pretty fun looking game really. You jump into it from the Electroman Adventure ship and land in an area on a moderately sized GD map that isn't moving, so you can jump around. Just like Fortnite, you have basic houses and structures, and one thing I love is the classic generic 2D brick textures which is basically the only original texture in this game. The rest of it looks as if he's just gone into GD, mined the game, and ripped out every background button and icon in order to make something on what I'm pretty sure is Unity. Given how terrible bootleg games with GD are, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. That a while ago there was this 3D Geometry Dash game that was released, and it claimed to have all the GD main levels in a diagonally viewed 3D format, but it was absolutely atrocious. It had no menu, it was just stereo madness as the only gameplay, and the input lag was horrible. Of course, the shit channels saw it and...
It's free real estate.
This, on the other hand, actually seems to be a fairly well-crafted game. It's a bit flimsy, but there's some depth to it at least. The controls are quite basic, but I like the Fortnite-like interface whereby you have to have GD objects building things with you and you can build walls and stuff in like Fortnite. I feel like this would be so much easier to appreciate if I'd actually played Fortnite. Why am I even making this video? As I said, it has a very similar interface to GD. If the entire menu wasn't ripped from the game, then every texture, button and piece of art was. You can open chests to get weapons, and if you're not playing this for the pure meme, then there might be a lot of fun things you could appreciate from here. You can also create an account to sign in and play with friends, and I feel like this would be a really fun game to play when you're high, and it would be moderately entertaining. I'm not saying the appeal wouldn't wear off after about 15 minutes of repetitive gameplay, but as bootlegs go, this is quite a cool little multiplayer. You know what, this is actually a pretty good game. When it comes down to it, out of all the bootlegs out there, this one's actually pretty good. Yeah, it came out just to mix two trends that appeal to GD fans, and it also rides RobTop's wave for popularity, but it's not like RobTop actually seems to care much at the moment. You know what, forget 2.2, this is all the update we've been waiting for. In all seriousness though, I've never actually said this before, but I can't complain. It has a system in which you can log in and play with friends, you can use GD items to do stuff, and while it rips the GD textures and does it kind of flimsily, I've seen way worse games trying to ride off the GD hype. I'm no expert here, but I believe this was made in Unity or something, so it wouldn't have taken Yoto long if he knew what he was doing, but still, the fact that more effort went into this than any Fortnite in GD video is very amusing to me. So yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised. It was a good game overall, so well done to Yoto Games. If you can download it, you can donate to him, but yeah, I actually would recommend downloading it. It seems like hours of fun. But yeah, anyway, that's all from me, and I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please smash that like button, and if you're new around here, if you could subscribe, then it would really help me out. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you all soon.